Hey team, today we're using the YBELLs and our body weight to work out the whole body. Please note this is an advanced workout. We will be using some advanced moves which also will require a lot of shoulder and spine mobility and stability. So please make sure that your body is well functioning and you have no niggles or injuries, especially through the upper body or lower back. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with 3 activation and mobility exercises. The first one being our walkout. Now, I am assuming you guys are somewhat warmed up and it's not the first thing in the morning. You're not super stiff. It's not freezing cold. So you're actually warmed up. You've either spent a couple of minutes on the treadie or you've skipped or you're been jogging on the spot. Or best case, you've actually done my warm-up routine on YouTube. I can link it below. All right, saying that you're warm and you're ready to go, let's get started. So we're doing walkouts, which are similar to the inchworm. We're going to squat down, walk our hands out until we are in a high plank position. Hold for a second, walk the hands back in, keep your back in neutral and use our legs and core to squat back up. All right, you should have done at least 5 walkouts. So next we're going to do a runner's lunge. So in that high plank position, you are going to step your left leg up next to your left hand, letting the hips drop gently towards the ground, stretching out your hip flexors, your hamstring, your glutes. Oh, so good. Keep swapping sides. Make sure your core is drawn on tight to support your spine. Now, if you're feeling you want to take this to the next level, we can open into a twist. So when you step your left leg up next to your left hand, keep the tummy, glutes tight, and then open up the left arm towards the sky, gently rotating through the spine, stretching out the chest. So good. I love this stretch. So I hope if you've had a busy day, you're starting to come back into the body, out of the mind. Take some nice deep breaths, get nice and centered, warming up the muscles, opening and warming up the joints, getting some blood pumping. Feels good to be in the body. All right, next is crab reach, and this really opens up the front of the hips and also opens up, extends and rotates the spine. So our feet and hands are shoulder width apart, and let's find our capital M. So our hips are coming between the hands and heels, just an inch above the ground. Find our neutral spine position with a slight incline of the spine. Shoulders pulled back and down, and try not to collapse down into the shoulders. Really lift that spine up and out. Okay, first we're going to hit the 3-point reach position. So we're going to drive through our heels, squeeze our glutes, and lift the hips up. We're going to extend the hips, so there should be no crease at the front of the hips. So when we hit this 3-point reach position, we want the hips to be in full extension with no flexion, meaning there's no crease at the front of the hips. Now, if you can't get your hips into full extension, please just stay in the 3-point position, which is what I'm doing now. Just driving up through the hips as high as you can and then back down. So if you are getting the hips into full extension, we can go into the full crab reach. So drive your heels down into the ground, squeeze your glutes to drive the hips up, follow your hand with the eyes, and then continue the hand on over the head to frame the head. Aim to stack the top shoulder over the bottom shoulder, so you're getting some nice rotation through the spine. And please keep that core drawing in, glutes activated to support the hips and the spine, and keeping those shoulders pulling back and in so you're not hunching them up near your ears. Awesome work. Okay, now that we've done our 3 activation and mobility exercises, we're going to hit the workout round. Now, the first exercise is the hammer curl squat. So we're going to hammer curl the YBELLs up to our shoulders, rest them on the shoulders as we squat down. So this works the biceps and obviously the legs and the glutes and the core. So hammer curl, using the biceps, rest the weights on the shoulders, having the core drawn in as you squat down, Use the glutes to drive you back up. Again, keep that core tight to support your spine, especially because the weights are up on the shoulders. Remember to maintain that neutral alignment of the spine. You're doing really well. So nice controlled movements, no swinging of the arms to get the weights up, no swinging of the back. All right, finish this last one and we are moving on. So the next exercise we are going to do is bear crawls. So we need to find ourselves in our all four position. So our hands directly under our shoulders, knees under our hips, and our spine in neutral, core drawn in. So remember the neck needs to be in neutral as well. And once we've got that neutral alignment, core drawn in, lift the knees an inch above the ground. Now you should feel the core really activate as well as all the shoulder stability muscles and rotator cuff. Now for the fun, you're going to take one small step with one hand and the opposite foot, and then the other hand and opposite foot. Taking small steps moving forward. Let's take 10 steps forward and then 10 steps back. Now, when you're stepping back, remember just a small step. Keeping the core activated to keep that spine in neutral, keep the shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Beautiful. Fun, aren't they? All right, next we're going to do a burpee with a row. So let's get your YBELLs. Place them on the ground, shoulder width apart. Make sure you're leaving some space behind the YBELLs so you can jump it out into a high plank position. And we're going to squat down as if we're doing a burpee. Hands on the YBELLs, jump the feet out to a high plank position. From there, we're going to do a renegade row. Jump it in and then jump it up. So it's a burpee, down, out, renegade row, jump it in and jump it up. Now for those that want to add in a push-up today, you can. So let's jump it out, push up, then do the row and then jump it up. If you are doing the push-up, you may just want to widen the YBELLs and turn them out into a little bit of an A-frame to help with the alignment of the shoulders. Good. Make sure you're using your legs to get down and up and trying to keep that back in neutral position. So you're not going to use your back to get you up and down. Core drawn in and shoulders pulling back and down, especially with those push-ups and rows. Good. This should really be getting your heart rate up. You should be feeling nice and warm by now. Awesome work, you're doing amazing. Let's go 2 more. Keep that form, keep the core drawn in. Well done. Fantastic work. All right, next exercise we're going to do is a reverse lunge with a tricep extension. So we're going to have one YBELL with the outside grip. So standing up nice and tall. Now the weight is going above our head, so we want to make sure our core is super tight and our rib cage is drawing down towards our hip bones so our back is not hyperextending. Shoulders pulled back and down, chin tucked in. So we're going to lunge back, weight through the front heel and bend the elbows, keeping the elbows close to the ears. Drive up through the front glute and then extend the elbows to lift the weight above the head, working the triceps. Now, obviously the weight is going behind your head. So I like to have my thumbs covering the weight. So there is something between the back of my body and the weight. But otherwise, be super careful to control the weight down so you're not hitting your body as the weight comes down. All right, you guys are doing amazing. So let's move on to the next exercise. This is a lateral lunge. So we are going to have one YBELL again, and we're going to lunge laterally into our outer glute and thigh, squatting over the outside leg. Just make sure your back stays in neutral, chin tucked in, shoulders pulling back and down. and the knee is tracking in line with the toe. And you want to get the glute activating, stabilize the hips, try to keep the hips square to the front. And again, knee and toe in alignment. You want more of a stretch through your adductor. You can turn your toe out, say 45 degrees, as long as your knee's in that same direction. If you want more glute med activation, have the toe facing forward and the knee facing forward. Just remember to send the butt backwards so your knee isn't tracking forward over the toes. Excellent work. Keep it going. A few more. Keep breathing, keep that spine in neutral, shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in, core on. All right, we're up to our last exercise, and this is thread the needle. This works a lot of your shoulder stability muscles, rotator cuff and core. So we're going to have one hand down and one hand in the middle grip of the YBELL. We're going to be in a high plank position. Now use your hand to thread the YBELL underneath you, rotate the body, and then we're going to rotate up so the weight comes to the ceiling and the hips come with you. So you will be in a side plank and then you'll be into a normal plank. So you're rotating. Excellent work. Let's do the other side. So make sure that hand is directly under the shoulder. Tummy tight, neutral spine, thread under, and then up to the ceiling. Fantastic work. Well done. So you've done the round of the 6 exercises, and now you're going to repeat 2 more times for a 30-minute workout. Now you don't have to repeat the first 3 activation and mobility exercises if you don't want to. That's up to you. If you want to add them in, you can. Otherwise, enjoy. Let me know how you went, and I will see you next time. See you guys. Bye.